Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I want to let y'all know that this video was brought to you by Manscaped. Big Manscaped in the building, man. They've been blessing everybody with Lawnmower 4.0s and 3.0s and everything else, all the products that they have during the course of this entire holiday season. So if you want to partake in that, man, make sure you use code Brunson, save 20% off, get the free shipping, and the free shipping I fought for that for y'all. So yeah, man. Let's talk about it, man. I think it's time that we start, reevaluating where we initially had Nick Sirianni, you know what I mean, in terms of NFC East coaches going into the season. Now, me, myself, I had Nick Sirianni, you know what I mean, as the worst coach in the division, simply because we just didn't know. And I think that's, to be fair, I think a lot of people had the Philadelphia Eagles record being so bad coming into the season because of the unknown. Now, I didn't go that far with record-wise because I felt like Nick Sirianni would be able to lean on some of the veterans and play to the strengths of the team. I'm on record saying that before the season started. And, that's exactly what he did around week 7. He leaned on some of the veteran guys, you know what I mean? That's the one edge I think that we had over the division was veteran guys who've been to the promised land where no other team has that on the roster for real, in our division. So, I feel like, Nick Sirianni showed me a lot more. When you talk about Ron Rivera, I think his name is bigger than his achievements, man. Come on. Yeah, we know he's been to the Super Bowl, but Ron Rivera has had 3 winning seasons out of 11. It's not that good. It's not good at all. We're going to call a spade, man. I'm not about to... Listen, we get nothing out of sugarcoating it. That's bad. That's a bad record. That's a bad resume to have. You know what I'm saying? 3 winning seasons out of 11 as a head coach. A lot of guys don't survive that long. I think Ron Rivera is pretty inept on the offensive end. He's a defensive-minded guy, but look at the way he used Heineke and Allen. He had them guys running around and scrambling. Come on, bro. Ron Rivera is a little overrated. Mike McCarthy, how hard is it to play with Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott? But I'm going to give Mike McCarthy his flowers because it's hard. As easy it is to do those things, it's just as easy to screw it up and turn things into a train wreck. So I'm not mad at Mike McCarthy if you want to have him one. But the second best coach is definitely Nick Sirianni, hands down. Nick Sirianni is nothing less than the second best coach in his division. Joe Judge is an absolute is a comedian. Joe Judge ain't no head coach. He ain't no head coach, man. He come out with a presser. Or he said this in one of his pressers, at least we're not fighting the guys on the sidelines taking a jab at Washington. But he do more taking jabs at other teams, like playing the Eagles fight song, talking about Washington and what they got going on the sideline instead of winning. Has he ever been 500? Has he ever been 500? There's no coach that deserves to be fired more than Joe Judge. No coach that deserves to be fired more than Joe Judge. And, he's all talk for real. So, I think Nick Sirianni is by far better than, Joe Judge. I think he's better than Ron Rivera. I think Ron Rivera's best days as a coach are behind him. And that's just how I feel about that situation, man. We got this game on Sunday, and it's like the roadmap just keeps getting laid out for us. So you got Kirk Cousins, who is unvaccinated. He has COVID, and being as though he's unvaccinated, he won't be playing on Sunday. The best chance for a player to play that pops positive is a guy that's vaccinated, period. Kirk Cousins isn't vaccinated, so that the timeline on an unvaccinated person is about 2 weeks. You know what I mean? To get over COVID if you catch it. And COVID is going around like wildfire right now. And this new variant is crazy. So, I think, listen, listen, I already know what they're going to say. A lot of people are going to say, once we get in the postseason, a lot of people are going to say, it was basically handed to us. We didn't have to work for it. And that's not my problem, man. Teams know the risk of having a quarterback, the most important position on the football team, having a guy that's not vaccinated. You know the risk. You let this guy continue on being vaccinated. You let him, it's his decision. I understand that. But you know the risk that comes with that being your decision. It is what it is. Now this guy is unable to play because he's not vaccinated, and you want other vaccinated players to care? Man, that's not our problem, man. So the Colts are dealing with that issue with Carson Wentz. The Vikings are dealing with that issue with Kirk Cousins. And ironically, playoff stimulations and playoff situations this is the biggest game of the season for the Vikings, and they're going to miss it because, one of their teammates, didn't want to get vaccinated. And like I said, it's his God-given right. It's his right. So I understand where Kirk Cousins is coming from. But being as though it's his right. He wasn't in a plane accident or anything like that. He's available, but they just didn't want to get vaccinated. So we're going to take whatever's coming to us, man. The Washington football team also will be without, two of their running backs, both of their running backs. They'll be without J.D. McKissick and this just in Antonio Gibson, who is also on the reserve COVID list. I'm not sure about his vaccination status, but it's just, it's unfortunate. If you're a vaccinated player and COVID still, hinders you from playing, that's a very unfortunate situation. But at the end of the day, we got to understand this, that these are the situations that we living in, and next man up is more important than ever in these days and age, and in the NFL. I'm thankful that the Philadelphia Eagles haven't run into any of these major issues or outbreak within the team all year, and it just lets me know that the guidelines and the protocols may be a little maybe a little more tighter. And this is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. A lot of these guys on veteran ball clubs and key positions are going down with COVID. Now, COVID could come from anything, but we gotta be excited about the protocols that's in place for the Philadelphia Eagles, because we're gonna continue to knock on wood. You know what I mean? It didn't really affect us this season at all. Minus a couple onesies and twosies, but I think we've been great at isolating guys and keeping guys away from each other and doing the things necessary to make sure guys are healthy. Now, we talk about Kirk Cousins. We talk about, what's going on in Washington. We talk about these coaching situations, and we talk about, Joe Judge, taking jabs at other coaches. The Philadelphia Eagles most likely will be in the postseason, and this is what we got to remember when we get into the postseason, that, you can make your mark in the postseason. You can make your mark in the postseason. Get in there and seeing Jalen Hurts play in a playoff game will just be everything for me personally as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I got on this hurt season hat to remind myself, and this is one of the old, dirty, beat-up ones, to remind myself of how far we've come. Think about the whole season in its totality, man. We start off against Atlanta. We see flashes of, greatness, but it's still raw talent, on the offensive side of the ball. We struggle to find, some resemblance of a run game. It wasn't that we didn't have an identity or the identity switched into a run-first football team. We just didn't implement the run at all. We just didn't implement it at all, and that was the key. The key. I love Eagles fans. I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because we knew what we was missing all along. We was missing, the ability to mix it up, and now you go on you. Come on, what are we about to win 8? We about to win 6 out of the last 8 or something like that. That's a run. That's a run when you need to make a run, and kudos to the coaching staff, kudos to the players, for learning on the fly. Just a lot of great things have been happening, during the course of this season. And I'm excited for the game on Sunday. I don't care if they show up or not. That's on them. We need to take care of our business. Green Bay is most likely going to beat the Vikings now that Kirk Cousins isn't playing. And, we maybe we can rest our guys week 17, because everybody needs a little rest. Happy New Year's to everybody, and your families. Take care of yourselves, man. Be responsible, be safe. If you're going out and about, make sure you mask up, give people their space. It is what it is, man. Sunday, I think Sunday at 8 o'clock, we will be in the postseason, man. Let me know what you think in the comments.